And certainly to the researchers, if you have something to say, we want to hear about it. We want to know what's going on. IT pros, for those of you on the front lines, we want to hear your pain points, and we want that feedback so we can factor that into our processes. And obviously for any vendors in the room, we definitely want to keep that communication open because we know together we can fix these issues faster. So another communication channel that we use is our PSIRT blog. We use it as a very formal space for announcing issues, workarounds, advisories, and ultimate bulletins. It's usually followed most often by the press and customers. And I know our PR definitely says it's the communication for when we communicate about bulletins and ultimate fixes. And we often tell our customers to get an RSS feed to the blog so they know immediately, because we literally within seconds, once a bulletin's live, we post the PSIRT blog. So you know once this thing comes up, you have the most up-to-date information. So back to our case study, at this point, we needed to acknowledge the issue to the public, and we used the PSIRT blog to do so. So this helped us transition reactive reporting about the issue to making sure we got to the next steps. What's the workaround? What else can we supply the public so that we can move forward?
So we got a question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fire away. Yeah, in this case it was a few hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want to make sure we got the information right. So we posted at 4 o'clock. And we got the first email I think like 1 o'clock. So it was within 3 hours. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna ask you guys to indulge me again. Indulge me with the Sylvester Stallone picture. So. We're going to digress here and talk a little bit about our certification program, mainly because it's a homegrown program and we think it's really cool. In this case, the applicability is the entire Reader team had gone through our certification program, so we didn't have to do a great deal of like context setting and giving background info. Once this issue hit, we were able to speak a common language, concepts, people, we're all familiar with them. So it was really helpful from that perspective. An overview of the program. It's based on a belt system, and that's why you see this cute ninja character here. So being at a creative company, we can get little like logos like this, which is kind of cool. So as I said, it's entirely homegrown. So we use the Connect tool, which is an e-learning tool. I'll show you in a minute what it looks like. But it's developed by asset researchers and also with help from the product teams. There are different tracks for program managers or quality assurance engineers or developers, because obviously different audiences need different information. There's different levels of security achievement based on the belt that you get. We'll talk a little bit more about the belts. And we have top-down support for this program, but it's actually been really effective from a grassroots perspective. Part of that, I think, is the belts. It's cheesy, totally cheesy. I understand that, but people like belts. So if you're a green belt or you want your brown belt, no, you don't get a belt. We haven't gotten quite there. You do get you get a badge. I'll show you what the badge looks like on your. So we have like an internal social networking information site. You get a badge on there, and people are psyched to get the badges. So the other aspect there is security is a growth industry right now, as you might have noticed. So it's a cool way for people to differentiate themselves. If you're a developer or QE, like if you hook yourself onto the security wagon, it's a cool way to kind of grow your career. It's also obviously an interesting topic and a lot of drama and stuff like that, so it attracts people. So in this case we get this grassroots support, and that's really effective versus kind of like a top-down mandate, shoving it down people's throats. So we found that's what's happened is in each product team, there's like a security-minded subset, and then there's a security champion on each product team. So wow, Kyle looks really tan there. That's awesome. I can't believe he's not in the audience here. This is what he gets. So this is what it looks like, and I'll also show you the just what it looks like running. Yeah. So basically, there are these slides. In this case, we're doing like a case study with the Sammy worm to show kind of the different web stuff that was involved there. So it's a module, like a 20 to 30 minute module for each topic, and each topic basically ties back into a belt. You go through 10 of these trainings, and you get your white belts, or 10 or 15. There's an opt-out quiz at the end, so if like you're cross-site scripting something you're familiar with, you can just go through the quiz and prove to us and prove to yourself, yes, you do know cross-site scripting. So white belt, green belt. White belt is the general security knowledge belt, and then the green belt gets into more depth, like deep dives into some of the concepts. Then the brown belt, we do the Jedi mind trick and make people do projects. So like setting up a new fuzzing framework for your product or something like that, or recording a new training. Hey, how about that? And then we can use that training and make other people smarter. And then black belt is like the person on the reader team. I'll show you a picture of that. In this case, Liz McQuarrie. So she gets a little secure software engineering certified black belt. So that's Liz. She's our Czarina, security Czarina on the reader team. So that's kind of how it works. One other note there, we're looking into posting some of the trainings that it would be interesting for like Flash developers, like cross-domain, or writing secure Swifts, getting those posted out to the public, because yeah, we're pretty proud of them. They're really cool, and we'd like to get them out to more people. Sorry, I switched back to the slides here. I think we showed that. All right, so just real quick here. We have a secure product lifecycle, and that's important, but what the certification program does is it helps us build a secure culture. Like there's a little more cachet around being a security guy and knowing about security. And for the reader team and Flash Player team and other higher profile products, it's important to have buy-in across the teams, and we do have that, so it's great. We like to fancy ourselves the domain experts in security, but for the company as a whole, it's better if everyone knows security really well, and in that kind of case, we don't need to feel like we're shouting against the wind or whatever. We don't need to be the voice of reason. Other people already understand the concepts and the importance. All right, so to get back to the case study, thank you for listening to my promotion for something that you don't even really care that much about. But let's take you into the room with us during that 0-day meeting. So there's a lot of tension, a lot of sweaty palms, a lot of like booze jokes floating around. So the kind of questions we ask ourselves in a 0-day situation: how wide is the exploitation? In this case, it was targeted attacks, but we heard about it bang, bang, bang from a bunch of people in succession. So it was starting to grow in volume. Is it already fixed? Is it actually already on the train to be in our next quarterly update, which is going to be 4 weeks away in January, in this case. Is there a workaround? So in this case, yes, there's a JavaScript blacklist framework, which had shipped in the previous quarterly update in October. So we'll talk about that a bit more. Some other questions: is this kind of like a one-off issue, or is this something where we need to do more testing around a particular area? So like, is it in like a